everyone, welcome to our webinar. I'm Jane, the Product Manager at Wooking Instruments. Today, I will share you two topics. First of all, let's learn all about the detailed info of Wooking K2025 HPLC. Then, I will tell you how to comply with data integrity regulations using Wooking GxP. This presentation is gonna be divided into two parts. First, I'll give you all the deets about our product. Second, I will introduce our clients and the support we offer. In this part, I will introduce the characteristics of K2025 HPLC. Before that, I want to discuss with you about two questions. If you want to select a HPLC system, what factors would you consider? And what is the most unbearable problems in the process of using HPLC? You could leave your answers on the message board. In fact, before the development of K2025 HPLC, our R&D team was also eager to know the answers. So they made a lot of user surveys and listened to the voice of users. In the investigation, many users stressed that HPLC is a powerful tool to separate, identify, and quantify compounds in liquid samples. It plays an important role in the process of R&D and quality control by providing effective and accurate data. So, one of the characteristics of HPLC must be precise. The answer of the question, which of the following problems do you most can't stand in the process of using HPLC, surprised our R&D team, because they had thought the performance index was a big deal. However, in the figure we can see that 67% of users can stand frequent breakdowns. So we came to the conclusion that users really needed a reliable HPLC system. In addition, we will hear from a bunch of users and professors that HPLC gonna be easy to use, and they can master the skills of using it as soon as possible. Meanwhile, it should be easy to maintain. For the customers of pharmaceutical companies, what they think about first is whether the instruments are compliant. Therefore, according to the voice of users, the characteristics of K2025 were defined, namely reliability, precision, easy to use, and compliance. This picture is the appearance of K2025 HPLC. And K2025 HPLC has various choices for each module. 3 types of pumps: ascratic pump, binary pump, and quaternary pump, and 2 types of sampler, auto-sampler, and manual injector. There are 2 types of column oven, horizontal one or vertical one. The selection of detections is very important. Because different compounds have different features, most compounds can be analyzed by UV detector and delta rib detector. The fluorescent compounds can be analyzed by a fluorescence detector. The refractive index detector and evaporative light security detector are universal detectors, but the sensitivity is lower than other detectors. There are 3 versions of Workstation: Wooking Lab Standard, Wooking Lab Lite for universities, and Wooking Lab GxP for pharmaceutical companies. I will introduce each module in the next content. The first module is pump. The pump provides power for the whole system, and the three key words of Key 2025 pump are reliability, precise liquid delivery, and highly cost-effective. Alright, let's talk about reliability. Right from the get-go, it's all about the design. Each module of Key 2025 is made with a focus on being reliable. For example, the can here is made from the tough alloy steel and combined with high-frequency heat treatment technology, which makes the surface of the can is more wear resistant, so the surface life is longer. Now, when it comes to the important bits of the pump, they are all made by big-name companies from around the world, like the check valve and the sapphire plunger are manufactured by Ceramrich. For the pump, it's very important to possess a precise flow rate and gradient ratio. The accurate dynamic plunger pump cooperates with a pressure dynamic suppression algorithm and patented mixture to ensure excellent performance. In this figure, and we can see that with pressure suppression, the pressure is more stable. We also tested the precision of the pump in two aspects. The first test is the gradient test. We use two solvents as mobile phases. Mobile phase A is water, and mobile phase B is 0.1% acetone solution. Because acetone can be detected by UV detector, so as the rate of mobile phase B increases, the baseline will be higher than before. The image is a result of 11 times test, and we can see that the 11 baselines are highly coincident, and the RISD is lower than 0.05%. This also indicates the precise gradient ratio of the pump. We also analyzed a standard sample containing four compounds: caffeine, methylpropane, ethylpropane, and diethyl phthalate 11 times, and the RSD of retention time is far lower than 0.2%. The pump is highly cost-effective. It has automatic plunger cleaning to prevent precipitation of buffer solution, which can reduce the manual maintenance frequency and extends the use time. The purge buttons are on the panel of the pump. Therefore, when your instrument is separate from the computer, you could press a button to purge instead of setting it in the workstation. The selection valves here are built into the binary pump. When you need to use 4 different solvents in 2 tests, you can change the solvents after the first test is finished by setting a method. The gradient valve of a quaternary pump is independent, so it is easy to maintain and it has real-time monitoring. The second module is auto-sampler. The auto-sampler has precise injection volume, low carryover, and reliability, which can confirm the quantitative accuracy, and it is easy to use. The auto-sampler adopts a patented constant pressure needle to keep the pressure inside and outside the sample valve constant, and cooperates with the precise injection pump to ensure the accuracy of injection volume. Our engineer did a repeatability test of 1,000 times uninterrupted injection. The two graphs show the caffeine retention time and peak area respectively. The RSD of caffeine retention time is 0.106% and the RSD of caffeine peak area is 0.449%. What an outstanding result! Do you agree? As for carryover, the exterior surface of the needle is highly polished and the interior is passivated, which can effectively reduce the sample residue and cooperates with needle washing before and after injection to ensure an extremely low carryover. And we also did a test. We injected a sample containing 3,000 ppm caffeine and then injected a blank sample. By calculation according to this formula, we could see the carryover is 0.00085% and the normal data is less than 0.003%. In terms of reliability, there are four aspects of reliability design. For example, the injection port is set on the side wall to prevent bottle pad debris from clogging the needle during puncture. Moreover, the autosampler has a patented overlapped injection way. Before finishing the analysis of the previous sample, the needle inhaled the sample into a sample loop, so that when the previous sample finished, it only takes 5 seconds to inject this current sample into the system. If multiple samples needed to be tested, the injection way can save a lot of time. The autosampler is easy to maintain because we designed the easily operational positions of the 6-way valve and the injection pump, and the valve tray can self-reset. Meanwhile, if the tray is not in place, the workstation will remind the operator to put the tray in a proper position. Then it will start analyzing. Then, the third module is a column oven. The function of the column oven is to provide a precise and stable temperature for the column, so that the retention time of compounds can be repeated. The new vertical column oven can control temperature precisely, and the column capacity is large. In addition, the valve switching function, column identification, and audit trail function are the added new functions compared with the original horizontal column oven. And it also has multiple safety protection like horizontal one. Now, we are looking at a column oven with a door open. There are 3 fans, and behind these 2 fans are Peltier modules that can control the temperature of the column oven, and the 3 fans form a 3-dimensional air recycle, can make the chamber's temperature more uniform. These 2 graphs show that the ability to control the temperature is precise. As you can see from the graph, that the temperature fluctuation range is between plus and minus 0.05 degrees Celsius of the set value. Okay, and the column oven is capable to install 8 pieces of 100 mm columns or 4 pieces of 300 mm columns. And the holder here, you can look at here, the holder is adjustable. You can install columns with different diameters. In addition, the column oven can install 2 valves to switch different columns and flow paths, like 2D HPLC, like this. Besides, the column oven can identify 4-piece columns, and users can get column information by Wooking Lab Workstation. In the workstation, you could browse the column information about attributes and life sequence data. The column oven also has multiple protections for safe use, such as liquid leakage, real-time monitoring, and over-temperature protection. The original horizontal column oven also has precise temperature control and safety protection, and the column holder is upraised, so the 300mm columns can be installed and the diameters of columns can be different. Okay, then let's know some information about detectors. K2025 can be configured with different types of detectors, and this part we focus on UV vis detector and delta ray detector. UV vis detector has the characteristics of high sensitivity, wide linear range, and reliability. The UV vis detector is designed with a high-throughput optical path so that the baseline noise is low. This image shows the noise of the system, 0.005 MAU, and injected a certain concentration of naphthalene. By calculation, the limit of detection is 2.4 by 10 to the negative 9th power. And in general, the limit of detection is less than 4 by 10 to the negative 9th power. Besides, the UV vis detector has a wide linear range higher than 2.5 AU, which is attributed to the design to reduce stray light effectively. As for reliability, the patented transmission type deuterium lamp and static light path allow the light source switching without moving of lamp, which is more reliable. And the K-base deuterium lamp is manufactured by Hamamatsu, and the reactor is manufactured by Hariba. And the two companies are also the supplier of Agilent, Smudge, and so on. The design of a cooling air duct effectively prolongs the service of optical unit. The function over temperature protection of lamp chamber will automatically give an alarm and turn off the lights if the temperature exceeds the upper limit of setting. Next, UV vis detector has two special functions. The one is wavelength scanning to find the optimal absorption wavelength of a target analyte. The other one is wavelength time programming. Wavelengths can be set for different analytes during different periods to accomplish the high sensitivity analysis of complex samples. As for K2025 DAD, it has a similar sensitivity to UV vis detectors and also has a high spectral resolution. This picture is a spectra of benzene. We could see the 5 characteristic peaks, and there is a 1, 2, 4, 8 nanometer bandwidths available to meet different requirements of high sensitivity or high resolutions. DAD gives you all the information across a full range of wavelengths. The compounds can be identified by similarity comparison in the spectral database, and on the workstation, you can figure out the purity of the peaks. Besides, DAD is easy to use. It supports 12-channel real-time data collection. Finally, I will I will briefly introduce the Wooking Lab Workstation. It has powerful data processing capabilities, and it is easy to use, and the GMP version could comply with data integrity regulations. First, it has up to 27 integration events and 3 quantitative calculation methods to meet the process of complicated data. And the workstation interface is clear, allowing users to quickly complete method establishment, data acquisition, data processing, report editing, printing, etc. Alright, check it out. This section is a convenient operation bar. Over here, we've got the quick functions area. And down here, this is where you can keep an eye on the status of the things. This is a brief introduction about compliance, and I will give you more details in the next topic, just like database storage, backup and restore, multi-level user system, and traceability. The above is about the characteristics of KIT 2025. This page summarizes the main parameters of a system. The maximum pressure of pump is 62 MPa. As for carry autosampler, the carryover is less than 0.003% and central. By the way, in order to make sure KIT 2025 is reliable, we put 3 instruments through a bunch of reliability tests. And where did we do it? Right in the KIT Reliability Lab over at Hanon University. And you can click the link to watch the video. In the endurance test, here is what we found. The cam can keep on trucking over 10 years, and the plunger can pump out more than 150 liters of liquid, and the autosampler can inject over 300,000 times. Pretty impressive, right? Okay, in this section, I would like to share you about our support and service. Since KIT 2025 was released in October 2019, it has been selected by many users, including some authoritative organizations such as National Institute for Food and Drug Control, the Chinese Academy of Sciences, Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences, SGS, and so on. This page is about some articles published using KIT 2025, and if you are interested in any articles, feel free to tell me and I will send them to you. We always pursue the ultimate experience for every user. As a reliable scientific instrument service provider, we offer a 1-year warranty and have a seasoned after-sales service team in place. We are keen to hear your feedback and suggestions, and we are communicating to making constant improvements. Here's to a successful partnership, and you could browse more information on Hanon's official website. The main HPLC brands are Thermo Fisher, Waters, Agilent, and Smudge. It has been confirmed that Wooking KIT 2025 has a similar good performance as Agilent 1260 and LC28 by 6 authoritative organizations like National Institutes for Food and Drug Control, Institute of Biophysics CAS, and CTI. We will attend the Arab Lab Live exhibition and welcome everyone to come to the exhibition to exchange your ideas and see the instruments with your own eyes. Okay, thank you for your time. And next, let's watch a video about operations of Wooking Lab Workstation. And if you necessary, you can have a rest.
Wooking Lab is the workstation software for the K2025 HPLC. It offers easy-to-use operations and converts reliable, precise data into usable information. By watching this video, you will master the simple operation of Wooking Lab. Let's get started. Step 1. Login. Step 2. Instrument configuration. This step is only required for the first login. Step 3. Connect. This is the interface layout. The following steps are usually required for an analysis project. Project management, data acquisition, data processing, report. Now, let's start with project management. In the project surface, we can create a new project or select a project. Click this icon, we can back up projects. And click the Restore icon, we can restore projects. Then, we need to create a new method or choose a method. Click Save and Send and wait for the readiness of each module and baseline balance. Create a sample sequence. View the estimated marble phase volume. Save the sequence. And run the sequence. Next, data processing. Select standard sample chromatogram and integral. Use batch process function to process other chromatograms. Then, use the wizard to create a standard curve. Add the corresponding chromatograms to the standard curve. Next, use the batch processing function again to quantitatively analyze other chromatograms. Import chromatogram into summary. Finally, generate report. Set report content. Add chromatogram. Then, save the report. Print the report.
Okay, the above is a video about the simple operation of Wooking Lab. Now, let's continue to know about how to comply with data integrity regulations with Wooking Lab GxP. This presentation will be divided into two sections. First, an overview of data integrity, then our solutions. What's your opinion of data integrity definition? As we can see, the definition is different in different regulations. For instance, according to WHO, data integrity is a degree to which data are complete, consistent, accurate, trustworthy, reliable, and that these characteristics of the data are maintained throughout the data life cycle. And the definition of FDA is that data integrity refers to the completeness, consistency, and accuracy of data. And the principle is called ALCOA. We will have a look at the next content. As for MHRA, the data should be collected and maintained in a secure manner so that they are attributable, legible, contemporaneously original, and accurate. What do you think why data integrity is very important? We can just imagine that when you pick up a medicine, how do you know that it is going to work properly as expected? In most cases, you can't tell that, so it is all about trust, having faith that the manufacturer has produced a product that is fit for its purpose. And data integrity is a fundamental element to ensure safety, efficacy, and quality of drugs produced by regulated companies. This page shows the regulations related to data integrity. In March of 1997, FDA issued the CFR Part 11, which established the criteria for using electronic records and signatures. It specifies the requirements for electronic records and signatures to be considered trustworthy, reliable, and equivalent to paper records and signatures on paper. The EU GMP Annex 11 is a guideline the European Union issued regarding using computerized systems in GMP for human and veterinary medicinal products. The WHO and NMPA have also issued guidance documents. The WHO and FDA introduced and still use ALCOA plus principles to ensure data integrity. As well as being crucial for compliance reasons, ALCOA+ principles are becoming increasingly important to GMP. A represents attributable. It means all papers and electronic data must be attributable to the person generating the data, including who performed an action and when. L represents legible. You need to read and understand the data entries. C represents contemporaneous, which means the records are documented at the time of the activity. O represents original, means the data is first recorded observation. A represents accurate, means the result is valid and error-free, should include metadata. The next part, we will know how to use Wooking Lab GxP to comply with data integrity regulations. There are 4 elements of data integrity, including data security, audit trails, user strategy, and validation of systems. Each of these elements has different requirements, and I will talk about them in detail. How to ensure the data security? There are 3 aspects. First, we need to confirm the operating system security. That is to say, if you install the Wooking Lab GxP, anyone cannot modify the time zone and system time. Second, encrypted database is an effective method to realize data security. Wooking Lab GxP uses the SQLite database to store data, encrypting it. The database files are invisible and cannot be deleted, and users cannot read or modify records through any means outside the workstation. As for data, users can't tamper with or delete the instrument method, integral method, and original data, and version records could capture and record every modification of the data, so that it is easy to view the differences between 2 versions of a data object. Third, the backup is a major aspect of data security. The backup function supports both complete and partial backups, allowing users to choose backup types as per their needs. Data loss is a major concern for data security, and that can be avoided by automatic backups, eliminating concerns about forgetting backups and potential data security risks. The second element, audit trails. Audit trails are a critical component of compliance with 21 CFR Part 11 requirements, and they provide a record of all activities in a computer system and allow for the reconstruction of events. Should an investigation be required, Wooking Lab GxP automatically records all operators' actions, including operator, modification reason, modification content, date time steps, and other information in detail. Besides, once a piece of data has been tampered with, it cannot be opened. Wooking Lab GxP provides a user-readable view of the software system audit trail, allowing categorization by time, type, and user for easy searching. The paper records are printable and include timestamps for traceability. The third element is user strategy. The Wooking Lab GxP provides a user management capability. required to meet the requirements of 21 CFR Part 11 and the latest guidance. Only authorized users can enter the system, each with an independent ID and password. No user identities are shared. When a user account is created, the system automatically requires a password change upon the first login, ensuring password strength. The password needs to include capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special symbols. And Wooking Lab supports administrators to set a maximum number of field logins. If someone enters the wrong password more than the set number of times, the account will be locked. And the audit trail can track the excessive field login attempts, like there. The password expiration reminder function will remind the user to change the password to ensure the validity of the account. Besides, the workstation will be locked automatically after it has not been operated for a period of time. Wooking Lab GxP allows users to operate under a set of defined permissions. Administrators can customize user groups according to their needs, ensuring separation of duties and effective system management. In order to properly validate Wooking Lab GxP, it is extremely important to understand how these permissions operate and to document permissions that laboratory users need to perform their work. The electronic signatures can be applied to electronic reports. There are 3 levels of signatures: submit, review, and approve. When a user is granted access to Wooking Lab GxP, the system administrator can assign a signature password separate from the login password. The fourth element is validation of system. For each validation process, Wooking Instruments provides corresponding validation documents for on-site confirmations by technical personnel. These are the differences between 3 different versions of workstations. You can have a look. And the different users can choose different versions to meet their requests. And the Wooking Lab Lite is very suitable for universities, and the GxP version is very suitable for pharmaceutical companies. Thanks for your time. The above are the whole contents about how to comply with data integrity regulations with Wooking Lab GxP. Next, my colleague will show you K2025 HPLC by video phone. Please wait a moment.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Hello, Jenna. How about you? Are you ready now?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me and see me? Is it okay?
Okay, wait a moment. Okay, it's okay now. Please go on.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Gianna, the product manager of K2025 HPLC. In the presentation just now, Jen has introduced the 4 features of K2025: reliability, precision, easy to use, and compliance. Now, let's take a look at the K2025. From top to bottom, There are pump, autosampler, column oven, and detector. Let's start with the pump and see each module one by one. This is a binary pump. There are 4 buttons on the panel for purge. After you have got your mobile face ready, you can rotate the purge valve here and then press these buttons to purge. And after that, you can rotate to turn off the purge valve. This is very convenient for users whose lab adopt the human-machine separation mode. After changing the mobile face, they can directly complete the purge right next to the instrument without having to do it in the workstation. We have included the solvent selection valve as a standard configuration for users of binary pumps. Users can use 2 channels, A1, B1, for sample analysis, and after the analysis is completed, they can switch to other channels, A2, B2, for system flushing or use another analysis methods. Users can set up this in the workstation. This small button contains the solvent for plunger rinsing. During the operation of the pump, the wash pump automatically turns on and operates periodically to rinse the plunger and plunger seal without any additional settings. This effectively prevents damage to the plunger and seal due to crystallization of buffer salts and makes the pump more durable. This is a continuity pump. Similarly, the panel has buttons for purge, and it also has a plunger rinsing function. The gradient valve here of the continuity pump is independent. It makes maintenance easier and reduces the maintenance costs. Now, here is the auto sampler. This is the auto sampler with temperature control function. It has a temperature range of 4 to 40 degrees Celsius. While refrigerating, the dehumidification function kicks in to reduce the formation of condensed water, so it won't affect the experiment results. The 6-pole valve and the injection pump have a front-loading maintenance design, making it inconvenient for users to do maintenance. Plus, the auto sampler has a tray position detection function. If the tray is not placed properly, the workstation will allow the users to put in the right position. The K2025 has 2 types of column oven, one horizontal and one vertical. Let's see the horizontal column oven. This is the horizontal column oven. It has a temperature control range from 10 degrees Celsius below room temperature to 85 degrees Celsius. Behind the panel is a Peltier module that can control the temperature of the column oven. These 3 fans create a 3D air circulation to ensure even temperature distribution inside the column oven. The horizontal column oven can hold 4 250 millimeter columns or 1 300 millimeter column. Behind the panel, there is a leak sensor. If there is a leak, both the workstation and the instrument will alarm. This is the vertical column oven. It has a temperature control range of 4 to 90 degrees Celsius and a larger space. It can hold 8 100 millimeter columns or 4 300 millimeter columns. The column holder is adjustable and can fit columns of different diameters. Here are 2 switching valves. By installing switching valves, you can switch columns of flow paths expanding the range of applications like online SPE and 2D LC and so on. This column oven has a column identification function. It can identify information from 4 columns, including properties and lifespan, etc. This is a liquid sensor, and behind the panel there is a gas sensor. If there is a leak, both the workstation and the instrument will alarm. This is the DAD. This is the light source and this is the flow cells. They all have a front-loading maintenance design, so users can do maintenance or replace the lamp by themselves. This is the leak sensor, and if there is a leak, it will trigger an alarm. This is a UVD. It looks very similar to a DAD. This is the light source, and this is the flow cells. Users can also do maintenance or replace the lamp by themselves. This is the leak sensor. If there is a leak, it will trigger an alarm. Besides the UVD and DAD, we also provide ELSD, RID, and FLD for our users. That's all for the introduction of the K 2025. If you have any questions or want to get more information, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for your time.